Eva, I think you mentioned just on Twitter in the last day or two, this whole idea of having to get a medical intervention when you don't have a medical reason to get it. And you happened to notice some poor guy fell off a cliff on the Appalachian Trail, a tourist in America. And his mother would like to go to America and retrieve his body, but she's unable to.
Right. Yeah, this was a story of a 23-year-old Dutch hiker who was walking around the Appalachian Trail in America, and he fell off a cliff for, again, unknown reasons. But what is known is that his mother wants to go to the United States to come and bring her son's body home, and she is not allowed to go and do that because she doesn't have the vaccine. So she can go to pick up her son for this reason. And as you've mentioned, there are so many other things that people have been prohibited from doing because they didn't want to take a vaccine that they didn't need. So this is just, again, a story that's absolutely heartbreaking, and not just heartbreaking, quite frankly, it's evil.
Yeah, I think evil is the right word for this. I don't think there's a precedent. There's certainly no precedent on this scale for forcing hundreds of millions of people to have a vaccine they don't need. And certainly there's an element of hypocrisy too. This poor woman can't recover her son's body, while on the southern border of the United States, just as on the southern border of the United Kingdom, any number of unjabbed illegal immigrants can just walk into the country. So there are double standards here. But what I don't, get, this was a headline in Euro Weekly. Doctors baffled by increase in sudden adult death syndrome. I mean, are they that stupid, or are they just feel, we can't possibly connect all these dead young and middle-aged people over here with all these mass vaccinations over there? What they must know, surely.
Yes, I don't think that they're stupid. I think that they think we are stupid. And I mean, they're kind of right. I mean, sudden adult death syndrome, really? This is basically the new one. We had a couple of months ago, right, when it was Christmas, they said, there are a lot of people dying from heart attacks, and it might be because of the Christmas trees in your house. I've seen headlines where they said, it's climate change that now causes all of these heart attacks. I've seen post-pandemic stress disorder is causing heart attacks. These people are laughing at us. They think that we're stupid. And, the thing is that I understand that a lot of people have trouble saying these things because, as you said, they will come after you when you try and uncover the truth. And also, it's very hard to speak out about the truth and say, hey, maybe we should call a spade here, and 2 + 2 is 4. And the only thing that changed in the past couple of months is the fact that everyone took this vaccine. You can't say that because there are no real studies for these correlations. We just have suddenly all of these extra deaths, and we have no idea why, but we do know that it's not the vaccine. That's the one thing that they can tell you for sure. And I think there are plenty of reasons, understandable reasons, as to why they're trying to hide this truth from us.
Yeah, I'm absolutely amazed by this, because you have to have a certain heartlessness. Normally with news, the problem with it is that it's overly sentimental. If you remember a couple of years ago when Angela Merkel admitted all those migrants into Germany, there was a dead baby who washed up on the Mediterranean shores. And that baby became the most famous baby in the world and became the image of what was going on, and was the rationale for why Angela Merkel and everybody else had to let all these migrants in. Here we have this poor girl in Dublin. She's perfectly fit, she's perfectly healthy, she runs, she goes to the gym, and she's dead. And it's like we all agree we're not going to ask questions about why she's dead.
Exactly. It's horrible, and it really shows, once again, they don't really care about us. All of these talks about the deaths that we had to prevent with COVID, and that's why it was so necessary that you would take this vaccine. Well, they never talk about how many deaths were caused by the lockdown in and of itself. So it's very clear that these people really don't care about us whatsoever. And there are too many powerful institutions and stakeholders involved here that all have huge interest in us not knowing what the side effects are of this vaccine and what the dangerous consequences of these vaccines are and will be in the future. Obviously, our governments have forced this vaccine on us. You were basically a second-class citizen if you didn't take it. And, well, I mean, if it turns out that these governments have been giving citizens something that is forcing citizens to take something that is dangerous for their health, can you imagine the uproar that would cause? And, well, for them also, they would be losing power if that comes out. Big Pharma, it's very clear. The money that's involved in this is unfathomable. They want us to keep on taking these booster shots. Obviously, this is something they can make tremendous amounts of money from in the next couple of years to come. So we shouldn't know that this is dangerous for us. And even apart from the government and Big Pharma, just ordinary people, think about how many people have taken this vaccine and how hard it must be mentally to grasp the idea that you might have taken something that is bad for you and that could cause you all sorts of health problems in the future. And not just you, also your children. So the cognitive dissonance there is huge, and understandably so.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can't even wrap there are people, because if you can just go to sleep and not wake up in the morning, that's one of those thoughts that's basically too terrifying for a lot of people. Are you surprised at the way Western governments are still talking about more boosters? And in the US, for example, they're talking about a new shot that you won't have to take it every 3-6 months. It'll just be every year. But basically, their plan is that we should be getting these shots now and forever.
Yes. No, I'm not surprised anymore. After these past 2 years, I've been properly disillusioned. And I don't think that the government is my friend anymore. I'm baffled by the fact that a lot of people still think that the government is their friend. But of course, the governments want us to take this vaccine because, well, one of the many reasons, for example, is this digital ID that we've been talking about. If everyone has a vaccine, then everyone has a digital vaccine passport. And that gives huge opportunities for our governments to control us and to track us everywhere we go. So the benefits for them are huge. And, well, if you just hide the truth from people, they're not going to revolt against you anyway. So I don't see why they wouldn't want us to take more vaccines. It's just endless wins for them unless we wake up and say, well, you're not coming anywhere near my arm.
Yeah, you're not coming anywhere near my arm. You say you have no reason to get it, Eva. I don't think anybody under 50, 55, 62, whatever, should actually be contemplating this thing. The alleged benefit, with each passing month, the alleged benefits diminish further and further. And the risks of something really, the idea that you can have a thing called sudden adult death syndrome and people take that term seriously. We are the fools of human history. That is what's happening. So, as you say, keep your arm covered up and away from these guys, Eva. Great to see you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much.